Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
Welcome to Caribbean Perspective. So glad you can join us. The story that takes the lead in today's edition for Tuesday, 5th November 2024, and brought to you in association with our friends at Antillean Group. An attempt at restructuring foreign exchange delivery in Trinidad and Tobago attracts a sigh of relief to businesses. Details after this important message.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all, perils big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so glad to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
Welcome back. Local importers can breathe a sigh of relief as the Forex window at the Exim Bank created by the Ministry of Finance in 2020 during the COVID-19 pandemic has been resumed in a restructured format. Minister of Finance Colm Imbert made the announcement via media release on Sunday. Karen Cozier-Phillip of TTT News reports.
The resumption of the Forex window at the Exim Bank for essential imports in its restructured format is effective from November 1st, 2024. Minister of Finance Colm Imbert says the government's allocation of US dollars to the Exim Bank for this essential imports facility will now be US $25 million per month, a reduction of US $5 million. Minister Imbert points out the special Forex window at the Exim Bank has consumed US $30 million monthly over the last 4 years, since its inception in 2020. The list of foods, pharmaceuticals, and essential hygiene products, such as sanitary napkins and pads, which qualified for the special Forex window from 2020 to September 2024, will remain unchanged. However, will be subject to periodic review. The Finance Minister notes COVID-19 pandemic-related items such as hand soap, toothpaste, face masks, deodorant, respirators, and hand sanitizers are no longer considered to be essential imports. And he is carefully examining the role and impact of locally manufactured products which substitute for imports. Minister Imbert says greater access to foreign exchange for inputs for local consumption will be considered shortly, and he will consult with stakeholders. Over the past week, reports have indicated businessmen were concerned about issues accessing foreign exchange to pay for essential goods and food items, particularly with Christmas quickly approaching. Karen Cozier-Phillip, TTT News.
Still on Trinidad and Tobago, Laventille West constituents say incumbent MP Fitzgerald Hines could find it difficult to secure his position if he is selected as the PNM's candidate for the next general election. They claim Hines has not been fulfilling his duties as MP, and they're already setting their sights on a potential replacement. CNC3's Jesse Ramdio explains.
The upcoming general elections have ignited a debate among constituents of Laventille West over the future of incumbent Member of Parliament Fitzgerald Hines. Recently, members of the constituency's Women's League rejected Hines' return to representation. But while the closed-door voting process has since been deemed null and void due to breaches in process, those unrestricted by rules and protocols say their faith in Hines has fizzled.
Look, when they had a meeting in Success, I was down there. It had young people, young boys, young girls come with all their qualification, passes, everything. You know what I man tell them, when they done talk and pour their heart, he can't do nothing for that. So why I must continue voting for you? Man, he does me, yes.
Speaking under anonymity, the 47-year-old resident alleges that when his son was killed in a police-involved shooting years ago, Hines offered no assistance.
And you know my family personally, but you used to be in my yard and you never show your face.
In Beetham Gardens, young entrepreneur Shazim Lambert says even Hines' role as National Security Minister has been a misfit.
Everybody was made for a task. You know, whether you like it or not, you could be doing something that you don't like. You could be doing something that, you know, you could adapt to, but that is just not his position. You know, I don't think that is his position. He might be good in other field, but this might not be his position.
Kester Benjamin argues that Hines has fallen short in delivering tangible results.
Continuation with him, to me, I never really seen a difference. All I see him more or less is him just coming and posing and talking, collecting a salary, and I just said, but what on the ground? You're not seeing happening on the ground.
Attorney at law and Beetham Garden resident Kareem Marcel is being tipped as a favourite for the post of MP. Efforts to contact Marcel or Hines for comments were unsuccessful. Political analyst Dr. Winford James contends that while determining the pulse of the people required more work, he anticipates that the PNM may have a shake-up in their selection of candidates contesting the upcoming general elections. The constituency is at a crossroads. Whether Hines can bridge the divide and secure his position now remains to be seen. Jesse Ramdale, CNC3 News.
Courtroom chaos in Jamaica as prisoner stages daring escape leaves authorities in shock. Kirk Wright of TVJ News reports.
The man, Anthony Williams, was sentenced to 18 years for possession of a firearm and 3 years for assault. These sentences were to run concurrently, along with another gun-related conviction for which he has been serving time in prison. We were told that Williams ran from courtroom 7 while his antecedent report was being read out by a police officer who was in the witness box. Persons in court said Williams leaped over the dock where he was sitting and bolted through a side door. Reports indicate that Williams jumped from the second floor of the court onto Tower Street and ran in the direction of West Kingston. The incident happened about 11:30 this morning.
We were jumping, and dropping at the road. We don't see nothing.
And then the person jumped from this side, right?
Yeah, from this side.
After it happened, did you see any police around this side?
We see police them around and go down the road, man. Police them around.
But did you actually see when the man jumped?
No, I not got to assassin jump.
But you heard?
I hear when he jump in.
It's reported that Williams was seen running past the city center police station in a bid to escape. Williams was already serving a sentence for possession of a firearm and was about to be sentenced again for a similar charge. His attorney was shocked by his action.
I was asked to represent Mr. Williams. Originally, I wasn't his lawyer. He proceeded to trial based on his instructions, and he was found guilty based on the evidence that was presented in the court.
Kirk Wright, TVJ News.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick, in association with our friends at
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
The hurricane season is now upon us, so we as Caribbean people need to remember to think safety and be prepared. Avoid venturing outside during a storm or hurricane, especially if there are strong winds. Rooftops and other debris are often blown about and can cause great damage.
Social commentator in St. Kitts and Nevis, Dwyer Astafan, is critical of the government's Aspire program. Aspire is an acronym for Achieve Success Through Personal Investment Resources and Education. It is described as a groundbreaking new financial education savings and investment program for the nation's youth. Andre Huey of SKN Newsline reports.
It involves the government providing $1,000 to children who are nationals of St. Kitts and Nevis by birth or descent from age 5 to 18. $500 of that $1,000 is to be invested on behalf of the child, and the other $500 to be placed in an account which can only be accessed by the child when they become 18 or a minimum of 5 years if they are already close to 18 years old. However, Mr. Astafan believes the $1,000 should not be provided to all citizens.
The Aspire program, while admirable in concept, are bad in application. Let's take the Aspire. In my opinion, not every child citizen should receive the $1,000. Instead, there should be a means test so that only children of families earning below a certain income would be eligible, and the amount to each child should be $22,000 or $20,000 or $3,000, somewhere in between there, not $1,000. Money is being wasted and money is being ill-directed. The programs have to have more flesh and meaning and consequence to them.
The government said Aspire is the first initiative of its kind in the region designed to equip the next generation of St. Kitts and Nevis citizens with the tools, knowledge, and opportunities to build a bright financial future. The program was launched in September 2024. I'm Andre Huey for SKN Newsline.
And now for a regional roundup from HGP Nightly News with Dacia Richards.
The Venezuelan government on Wednesday said it was recalling its ambassador in Brazil over what it described as, quote, repeated interventionist and rude statements, unquote, from Brasilia, adding it was also summoning Brazil's business envoy for talks. The head of Venezuela's parliament, Jorge Rodriguez, had earlier on Wednesday proposed that lawmakers vote on declaring Amorim a persona non grata after accusing him of behaving like an envoy for U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan. The diplomatic escalation comes after weeks of tensions following Venezuela's disputed presidential election in late July. After the vote, Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva joined many world leaders in calling for Venezuelan electoral authorities to publish official ballot box tallies from the vote. Maduro's government has claimed victory but has yet to publish the tallies, while Venezuela's opposition has published thousands of scanned copies of voting machine receipts obtained by its election observers that it says show a landslide win for its candidate. Relations soured after earlier this month when Brazil vetoed Venezuela's admission into the BRICS group of emerging economies, which Venezuela has branded as, unquote, inexplicable and immoral aggression, unquote. The relationship between the two governments has become increasingly difficult, the Brazilian sources said, but their countries will not be one to further escalate the tensions. At least 600,000 Venezuelans have migrated to Brazil in recent years, according to Brazilian government data, while in 2022 bilateral trade amounted to some $1.3 billion in Brazilian exports and $400 million in shipments from Venezuela. Finally, the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, has issued an epidemiological alert due to the recent identification of clusters and cases of measles in the Americas, including the Caribbean. It is urging the region to intensify its vaccination and surveillance efforts. In the alert, PAHO said up to October 5 this year, more than 14,000 suspected cases of measles have been registered, with 376 confirmed in 8 countries of the Americas, mainly in the United States, 267 cases, Canada 82, and Argentina 11. PAHO said most of these cases are imported or related to importation. Globally, it said measles remains one of the leading causes of death in young children, despite the existence of a safe and effective vaccine to prevent it. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, up to October 15, 2024, more than 502,000 suspected cases of measles were reported in 182 member states of the 6 WHO regions, of which more than 283,000, 56% were confirmed. PAHO said it is committed to supporting countries in implementing effective measures to control the spread of the virus and protect the most vulnerable populations. It described measles as a highly contagious viral disease that primarily affects children and can cause serious complications, including severe diarrhea, ear infections, blindness, pneumonia, and inflammation of the brain. Some of these complications can be fatal, PAHO warned, adding that the most affected age group includes children aged 1 to 9 and young adults aged 20 to 29 years. PAHO warned in January and June about the decline in vaccination coverage against measles, rubella, and mumps. PAHO urged member states to implement active research strategies to detect cases as well as carry out complementary vaccination activities to close existing immunity gaps and strengthen communication with communities to promote vaccine acceptance. Additionally, PAHO urged countries to continue strengthening surveillance systems, rapid response to any imported cases of measles, and achieving adequate vaccination coverage.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean.
In the meantime, please follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for daily regional news and more in association with our friends at Antillian Group.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all perils big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.